Welcome to Before Now podcast. My name is Bliss Akinyemi, but I prefer that you call me Missy. Missy is spelled Missy and pronounced Missy. That's right. You need a pen? Grab one. Missy. If this is your first time listening to the pod, you're welcome. Welcome to the tribe. Before Now podcast is a weekly talk show where my guest and I discuss different subjects of life in relation to how we used to see them versus how we see them now. If you've been following the pod, I don't know what you're expecting, but as you can see from the title, today's conversation promises to be very, very interesting. My guest on the show today is an amazing person as well. See, I've said it before. I only bring amazing people on the pod because, it's just so good to be surrounded by amazing people. Anyway, my guest for today is Jennie O'Koyin Akikusote, aka Joker. Joker. Jennie is a strategic thinker, certified life coach with Freniken Consulting and Solutions, where she facilitates and develops resources to increase the capacity and productivity of young African professionals and the organizations that they serve. Jennie is also a writer who enjoys discovering new places, meals, people, music, etc., etc. So yeah, welcome on the pod, babe.
Thank you.
Jennie, let's talk. Today we are discussing problem no dey finish.
Okay.
Yes, problem no dey finish. If you've been following the pod, we've been coming from making money, saving it, investing it. But seriously, life is not that hard.
It's not like
life is not that complicated. I mean, let's not come up with sounding like just make money, save money.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the show we do before and then we do it now. Okay. So I actually know that problem no dey finish. It's more of a mindset than a slang. It's more of a mentality than a slang. So yes, before now, did you even have a problem with the finish mindset?
Did I? Okay, I think I can't say that I had. Or I had moments. So I think I'd always been this serious, let's get things organized, let's do things a certain way. But then I have moments where I crack. When you're living your life on this particular path, you have to watch the design, this is how you're going to do this is how many push-ups you're going to do every day, and then one day you just crack and you just go.
You just give up.
You just give up. The way you say that, it's more of a mentality before it became a slang.
Yes.
So I think I had moments where I just went, oh shucks. Problem no dey finish. I can't kill myself.
So now, when you say that you had moments, in those moments, Jennie, what did you do? Like, how did you actually bring the problem no dey finish mindset to life?
Okay, as far back, I think one of the times that I was most tempted, or where I had those, breaking moments, where I started to have those moments, was when I was truly on my own in secondary school when I first got to boarding house.
Oh wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah,
oh my god, somebody has been doing the problem that they finish for a long time.
That's like the first time I can go back to say, okay, I had moments where I'm like, I can't kill myself.
Yes, I can't come and go and die.
Yes, I can't do this anymore. So back then we used to have provisions because you can't rely on school food through and through. So we used to have provisions and stuff. And then, based on, so my first time in boarding house.
JJC.
The first term, when I have stuff, and then it was my first time, my mother went shopping.
Oh shit.
Like she went to Baggy, went to Aleshin Lawyer, bought everything, bottable.
Oh my god,
bottable. She bought everything. I had double of everything the school asked you to come with. I had so much. So I got to school, and then I'd not really interacted with the bad side of humanity.
Okay.
So to say, so I thought everybody had the same mindset I had too. Got to school, eat what I want to eat, have my milk. I used to do this thing where I do milk paste, put it on sliced bread. And that's my meal. Just take water.
Milk paste with sliced bread. Are you people taking notes?
Yes.
We should try that recipe out.
I used to have all of that. I just used to try stuff and do things like that until you do that. You are truly on your own. So you are 3 weeks in, your provision's finished.
Oh wow.
You call and they're saying, oh, okay, it's your first time, so they send you stuff again. But that sort of teaches you, because again, you have people who come to you and say, oh, I want, and you give them. And then you expect like, oh, you guys are friends.
And when it's your turn
when
to
you need,
and then they can come through
and
for
then
you.
they don't come through for you. And you're like, okay. Or the people, or, there's a lot of stealing, people steal your stuff.
Steal your stuff.
So afterwards, there was this lesson where I learned, okay, you have to spread. Resources are not, you can't just be eating everything. You have to have some discipline. And then you look at the calendar, there are 13 weeks in the term. You're going to eat the Milo to this point, you eat it to this point, you eat it to this point.
You take your eyes off it.
You take your eyes off it. But lo and behold, it doesn't always work.
That was a struggle, yeah.
And then there were days I would just sit down one weekend, the entire Milo,
wow.
the entire milk, sit down with it.
I can't come and kill myself.
My biscuits and butter, everything. I would just sit down.
Wow.
I just said one weekend, I'm telling you, I'll finish the entire thing. Like, if I perish,
I perish. Oh wow.
And then that's it. Like, those were the times when, and when you're doing it, you're just looking at it, don't do this.
Yeah.
You don't
you know.
you shouldn't do it. But at the same time, there's just this part of me like, I want to enjoy. I want to know what it feels
enjoy
like.
life, chop life, gang.
And then afterwards, not be taking Gary, swell Gary.
So Gary, oh my god.
For like 8 weeks out of the entire semester, and your only hope is visiting day if your parents
decide to come. Oh god.
So I think that's how far back I had the problem with the finish
mentality and all of that. And then growing up, I think that we learn like a lot of lessons as we grow. So as you were growing, like, because let's talk about me. Growing up, I think I've said it on the pod before. I learned how to save money when I was growing up. Every money that entered my hand was like, every day was like my problem with the finish day. Like,
I can imagine.
Every day was my problem with the finish day. Like, why do you want to keep money aside? But we already addressed that in the saving money episode. Because for me then, it was just, spend this thing now, like, nah. So yeah, that was how I grew up. So I didn't go to boarding house. I did not have this experience that you had. And then even when I was like a lot younger, I think the only memory I have right now, there's this family meeting that we used to do in my house, and it was like rotated. I think there was a roster. I never saw it, but I believe there was a roster, because today it is in somebody's house, then the next time
it's like an extended family.
It's an extended family. Yeah, it's like the entire extended family. So it was rotated, and then you're going to somebody's house today, you're going to somebody's house next week, or maybe I think it was monthly or so. But I shall know that if he was in our house today, it may not be in our house till like another 6 months or something. So it was like that. And then this was one grand day in our house, because everybody was coming. Like, my mom's the caterer. You have to put like everything out on the table. There was prawn crackers, there was chin, there was everything. And even I remember there was a particular time I was not feeling like too well, like I could not eat and all of that. And then it was meeting in our house, like see, this toothache, it will go last. But this whole food we finish like today. And I could just remember putting myself through hell just to make sure I had a bite of like everything that was served. Like, I was just like, yes, I must eat this one. Because that was like party day. See, I don't know if you can relate though, but party day is not a day you want to be sick. How will everybody be eating something?
Maybe I don't think I would, if I cannot eat, I cannot eat. Because another thing I have is when I'm not feeling well, and this is just by the way, when I'm not feeling well, if I eat certain things, I may come out of that sickness not liking them again.
Oh, I think I know a couple of people like that. I know some people like that. No, me, that time I was just
lucky you.
In my head, I'm not feeling well. I will get better eventually. But this one thing that they've done,
it's only 6 months,
so it's not come back to this house. Like, no. So that was it for me. So yeah, moving on. Like, after the time, as life, like kept happening to you and everything. Like, what moment again did you have where you were not like, Anise, problems, they finish?
Let me see. When we're talking about we're going to do this. One of the things that crossed my mind, when you were saying you're going to get my perception about what it means, problem not finish. I used to see people who are like that as very unserious. So
after eating all your own provision,
that's after me, I done my own. But I had this mindset. So I think it was because my mom is the kind of person that believes a lot in delayed gratification. So I don't know if you remember shortbread, McVitie's shortbread.
Yes.
So when my dad was a big sucker for,
sweet
gooey,
tooth. Sweet tooth.
And he helped me grow my
sweet tooth. Well done.
Epic. So he could buy shortbread and bring it home with ice cream. And I'm like, this is shortbread, this is ice cream. Why can't we just eat it?
But it has
my
to
mom,
go
my mom would give you, and then if she's going to give you at all, she'll give you one stick.
Oh wow.
And you know the way shortbread is, or the way it used to be. I don't know
it's
how
just going
if
to
it's
melt
like that
in your
now.
mouth, like
It's just milk, like
it's just disappears.
so good.
Like just
and you just want more and more. And she just one stick, like, and
that's it. Oh.
She can decide that the next time you take it like in a week or 2 weeks.
Wow.
I never knew my mom had a sweet tooth until like I finished university.
Wow.
Because I used to feel like
this one does not like sweet things.
She doesn't like.
She's like,
when should I tell me? Would they ice cream? No, do you like?
So you like ice cream?
Is that? Where was I? She's like, these are the things that she likes.
Yeah.
So why did you make us suffer?
I
was teaching you a lesson. Fam, teach me. Like, but she believed so much like in delayed gratification, and it really helped. But at some point, it also formed this thing in my head where I'm like, people who do this, like, who just eat everything they get and all of that, they just
just decide to just like enjoy life.
But like you said, life
kept
happening. For example, Funke Akindele's movie, which my name is so beautiful,
Jennifer,
all the things we get. Looking at that character, I got more insight into people who are like that.
Okay.
So where you see that Jennifer spends everything that comes into her hands.
Of course.
Whether she's giving people, she's dashing them, or she's buying a wig, or she's buying whatever. She spends everything.
Like YOLO.
Like, she's the real
YOLO.
Bigger.
YOLO personified.
Yeah. So it just gave me, because again, I tried to fit into different people's scenarios, and I'm looking, okay, she spends everything, but she also has a firm belief that money that came before would come again.
Yes.
And it always worked for her.
Exactly.
So I think it just, built something in my head where I'm like, okay, you can have both ways. So
you can explore, like, you can have the best of both worlds. Yes.
So, like, my mom again, I was telling her recently, like, you're the reason I don't splurge. So I'm a big sucker for shoes. I love, like,
footwear.
I love footwear. When we used to do BBM back then, those used to be my, post, my status updates, my profiles. Like, I had purple day where I just bring a totally purple look. Like, it could be the gowns and everything, and then the shoe. So I'm like a big sucker for shoes. But all these things, I don't buy.
You don't buy them, but you just
like I can draw on the picture of a shoe for like 3-5 minutes. I'm just staring at it. I'm just enjoying
it in,
imagining myself wearing it. I don't buy. If I don't, I will buy. I'll buy the most practical. So it has to be maybe black or brown.
Exactly, something that can fit
different clothes,
different occasions, different.
At some point, I was telling a friend, like, she is not poverty. Like, walking me like this. Because I'm like, why would I be? Like, I check myself. I see myself when I go to the market. And I find myself going past this shoe because it's not good with most of the clothes. And I was telling my mom, like, this is all your fault. She's like, I don't know that. Now she buys stuff. Now she buys shoes.
Just
she
living her life.
She doesn't do the practical things anymore. She does, like, she splurges a little bit here, a little bit here. We're the ones encouraging her.
But your mindset is still there. Stuck there. Like, you're still finding it difficult to actually adjust and then say, you want to do
one of the things I do when it comes to
that is like now we're going to actually get there, if that's like what you want to talk about. Like
when you were saying like the other things that I've done
that you used to do,
like now that I've grown up, so some of the things that I do now that I grew up, like my YOLO moments and things like that. I think the most recent one I can recall is like going on a trip. I want to unwind. I need to unwind.
Unwinding, that's actually like important.
Yes,
important.
So I can do the whoa.
They can know what you mean.
And then after the trip, I may just have like less than 1,000 naira in my account.
Like Brooklyn.
Yeah. I could literally just have like 300 naira after I get back home.
From that trip.
From the trip.
But I was yes, okay. So before we proceed, I would love to put you on the spot right now.
Oh God, Missy, I told you, I begged you.
I'm sorry, darling. I mean, I live
I
for this.
begged you.
I live for this. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have just 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Yes, now 10 seconds. Do your village people proud, though. Better make them proud. Okay. You have 10 seconds to unscramble the word. The word is spelled O-R-K-E-B. O-R-K-E-B.
Bro.
Oh my God!
Oh God, I'm so proud of myself. I'd like to thank my mother, my father, all my village people, my uncles, my brothers. Thank you so much.
You know, I think I'm
ashamed. I'm so happy. You don't know how happy I am.
I was
scared.
I know you were. No, we had to do broke because, you know, we're talking about problem, no, they finish. And on some days, you do problem, no, they finish. I'll just find your 300 naira broke, like 300 naira rich, actually. Like,
yeah, really.
300 naira rich. Some people didn't have 300 naira.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about now.
Okay.
Problem, no, they finish. Or to be very, very honest, you need to take a break. You need to explore. You need to actually like cut yourself some slack sometimes. Yeah. But where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line between cutting yourself some slack and being necessary? Exactly, and just being unnecessarily extravagant and all of that. So yeah, how do you do that now? How do you cope?
How do I cope? Like, how do I balance?
How do you balance it?
Oh, okay. So I think for me it's priority. So for example, I've been desiring a trip for a long time.
But we've been desiring trips.
We've been desiring trips. We've been desiring, and I really wish the last trip you took, but I couldn't come.
That really marvelous trip.
I really wish I didn't miss it. Jesus be my glory.
Hallelujah.
There are more moments coming, and I will not miss it. By the grace of Almighty God.
Amen.
So
how do you balance it out?
So balancing, I think really it's priority for me. So for example, I could have come on that trip with you. I could just go forge it, you know. I'm not concerned. I was in school at the time, you know, and in my head when
like you're not even far from us. That was it.
I wasn't far. I was probably like 40 minutes. 40
minutes away from
to the trip.
The
not even where you were, but to the trip.
And
I make that trip sometimes for errands sake and stuff like that. And I could have done it. But I think for me, it's priority. Yeah. So I'm able to look at what are the things that are important. I'm not good with what are the things that are urgent, but I'm pretty, you know, I try to manage like what are the things that are important, you know, time bound, things that I have to do now, especially when they have to do with other people. So if I have like other people in my life that I'm supposed to do something for, or, especially when it comes to people, if it's going to affect people, and it's not just me, you know, I really take that to be really important, because for me, when I think of things I can afford, I don't just think money. I think time, I think opportunity, I think people. So when I do that, it really helps me. So I was going to do something in honor of you.
Are you serious?
Yes, I was going to write a piece in honor of you. And I was going to call it Wanderlust. It was going to be in honor of us, actually, but you were like my real muse for that piece. But I've still not gotten the words together. But I was going to, in fact, I wrote it on my status, like I kept posting Wanderlust. Because I kept wanting, you know, that piece to come together for me. So I could get like serious Wanderlust. It's almost like I can feel it. I need to go. Like you said, I love new places, new people, new food. So
co-foodie, fellow foodie. Fellow foodie.
So sometimes I crave it, almost like the way we crave food. I crave those experiences. I crave the open. I want to breathe new air. I want to see new places. I want to see vegetation that I didn't have anything to do with. I just want to see how, you know,
trap memories and create memories and trap them.
Pretty imaginative. Try to see what could have happened to have interrupted. Why did this go here? And I have a little bit of background in geoscience, so I'm able to see like, oh, man did this. That's why this rock is like that. All of that. So sometimes it gets really problem when they finish. Why if you just chop this life?
Like chop it one time.
But as per se, we cannot even do. So I do pictures, videos. I go scrounge on the internet, look for places like immerse myself in another experience.
Like see the world through the eyes of others that have seen it before.
Just promise myself, don't worry.
Bucket list.
Don't worry. In December, we'll do it.
We'll do it.
But use this one to step down first. Don't worry, we'll do it. So I do that. Even with food, I do it. It's why you
always oppress us.
Yeah. I'm not oppressing anybody.
I mean, Jennie
helping myself.
Jennie like makes us go hungry on our status like every damn time. Okay, I know I do it too. But then me, I don't have plating. I don't have PhD in plating. So when you post,
but you're not usually mine.
That's what I'm saying. I know.
Oh,
but when you go dig out those pictures with the plating and everything, like there's just a whole lot of salivating going on over the place. So yeah, we're almost at the end of the pod. But talking about me, myself, and I, like right now, when it comes to the problem, the finish mentality, the mindset, and even as the slang, I'm at that point where I'm learning to prioritize. I'm learning to say, I mean, there's like a whole lot of trips that I want to go. I've said it before on the pod. My way to unwind is travel. Just travel. I just want to travel. I just want to live in my space. Even if traveling is just like to a neighboring city or something, like nowhere really far. I'm still dreaming of Paris and the likes. But at least let's still do the Southwest that we have and all of that. But I'm learning to prioritize. I'm learning to do it like when it's necessary, when I've gotten to that point, when I've gotten to the breaking point for me, and I know that, please, if you don't get out of this space right now, the unimaginable could happen to you. Because I love my mental health so much. As in I am so particular about it. If a place, a person, a group, a gathering is attempting to like mess with my head, I just want to get out of that space. And then what I do is just allow myself to go. But if it's something I can still deal with, if it's something I can still handle, I try to just calm down, like soft pedal and just calm down. Yeah, you're gonna.
Can I ask? Yes, I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
Have you ever had any instance so far since this learning phase has begun? Have you ever had any instance where you can't help it, you need to get out, but you can't afford to?
Okay. So here's the thing. This is I think I'll do this episode with somebody else like later.
Okay.
Because I did one.
Okay.
I mean, I do not believe in coincidences. I believe in everything being divine based on my beliefs. But this one was just so serious. Like I had thought about it, I had planned it, and then there was a point where I felt like, nah, not today. Don't do this yet. But then somebody else, a friend, posted something on his status and was like, he wants to do this, but he would need company. I was like, please, see, this is the voice of the Lord telling you. This is something you should actually consider. And then all the events that happened, Jennie, you understand?
I think I
do. Everything that happened like after that trip just made me realize that okay, this was actually like a very necessary trip. As much as it felt like I was just unable to delay the gratification to go to that. I mean, for crying out loud, people ask me, what's the fun thing in hiking? Like, you're going to hike like every now and then, you're hiking. You're just suffering yourself to climb mountains. And
it's not so far.
It's not so far. Like, the experience is amazing. The experience is beautiful and all of that. And as much as the hills would not leave. I went to Idori Hills. The hills would not leave. The hills would be there.
Yeah.
So even if I had decided to go like December or next year, I would still meet them there. But it was just really necessary for me to actually have been there at that particular time. And I did it. Now, after that time, every other thing is like calculation. Like, okay, please, like take it in, hold on, calm down. Like, no, not yet. Yeah. Okay, please, yes, no. So there's a lot of mathematics that goes into wanting to problem they finish it this day. So yeah, that's what's up. Want to say something?
Yeah, so I wanted to add, none of my dad.
Yeah,
I think my dad is the personified problem not the finish guy.
Great man.
That guy. He's today's 1 year.
Yeah, I know.
As much
as we should have like a moment.
For
him. Yes, because he's raised an amazing daughter. I'm so glad that I know you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you've been an amazing friend. So let's just have this. It's 1 year anniversary of Jennie's dad's passing. And we just want to take a moment to honor him. May his soul continue to rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the ultimate problem that the Finnish guy.
Is the ultimate guy.
Yeah.
And since he passed, for example, so I'd said my mom is like the disciplinarian of the house.
Of course.
And then he used to sponsor us with tooth. Since he passed, though, because he was always saying, Jennifer, so in English that means
like just
Jennifer's mom.
Just calm down.
yourself out. Spend this money. She would go into our purse, take our money, spend it on all of us. She'll come back. What's my money? Like, the enjoyment we just enjoyed. Where did you think the money came? So just look at it like you spent. And my mom would go all ballistic, like, what is wrong with you? Why would you go and take my money and all of that? But it was the ultimate guy. And I think since he passed, my mom, her being all the
disciplinary, strict person.
No, she's like,
yeah.
And we say that it's one thing they always taught us.
Yes.
So some things were not always so planned.
Just spontaneous.
But, so I schooled in Akure and I still school in Akure right now. For whoever is hearing, if you can sponsor outside. I don't think I want to go to school again for a long while. So don't worry about sponsoring. Anyway, when I used to go to school, my brothers were in primary and secondary school when I entered university. We used to do road trips. My dad would just take us. And normally he's supposed to just drop me because he made sure he did that. He would drop and then come back to pick. And then he's supposed to just either drop me or come pick me up and then go. But no, you can just say, where are we rushing to?
Let's chill.
My mom too used to do it. So he take us to hotels, sometimes we go to Idari. There are times when he has done surprise visits in school. I'm like, what are you doing in that place? Like, some of my friends said he needed a break, and I decided, let me show up, because he grew up in Ekiti, Oyo State. So I decided to be their tour guide.
Can you imagine?
What's wrong with this man? Why are you being a tour guide? And then he'll just take them to the hills, go do some enjoy. Like, is the work hard, play hard. So I think that's like the balance.
Yes, work hard and play hard.
So work hard.
Ball hard.
Let me not say some things on the pod because it was the work hard, play hard, and I think that's really some of the things we can. I think it's simpler to put it that way rather than problem no they finish. Have a commitment to do the work. Contribute to community, put in all of the energy, your skills, your talent, your gift, everything shared with us. And then when you need to take a break, take it. Yeah, take that break. Yes, take it. So we're finally at the end of today's episode. It's been an amazing conversation. I want to believe that if you listen up to this point, you enjoyed the conversation. Jenny, how was the conversation? It's not finished. When you press stop, we're going to continue the conversation. Yes. I know, right? Yeah. So before we actually leave, I just want to say some things that Jenny and I have just talked about, like just reiterate. I think the first thing that hit me in the whole of this conversation was prioritizing. Like, we really need to prioritize. There's no point having, what would you even do without prioritizing your life? Like, you have to prioritize every event, every action in your life. So even if you want to problem no they finish it, even if you want to like ball, if you just don't do it blindly. Think of the people, think of the lives that what you're going to do is going to affect. And as long as all of those things are well checked, then you can go ahead and live your life. It's your life. You only live once. YOLO. Do it. Like, have as much fun have fun for days. I think that's what I do. I have fun for days. Like, once I go like this, I just have fun for days. Like, keep going back to the pictures and videos. I'm like, this one will last me till whenever it is I get the chance to do it again. And like Jenny said, you can actually satisfy this craving, satisfy your wanderlust, satisfy your desire to actually like be out there by actually checking out people that are doing it, checking out people that have seen it. I mean, I have pages that I follow. I want to like travel the world. I have pages of people that I follow that are currently doing it, and in my head I'm like, very soon, bucket list. I'm going to be like you guys. So yes, you can just at least feed on that for now, see the world through the eyes of other people, know the prices of drinks and everything through the pages of other people, like so that you can know what to actually like start putting together, budgeting, so that you can live that baby boy, baby girl life that you want to live. And at the end of the day, like Jenny said, work hard, play hard. At the end of this episode, please leave a kind review. Give that star, leave a review wherever it is that you get your podcast from. Follow the pod on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. It's at BeforeNow Podcast, and you can find me personally on Instagram at Missy Blissy. Missy Blissy is spelled MICIBLISSY. On Facebook is Blissa Kinyami. Till the next episode, ask yourself, what happened before now?